You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Well, hello there. It's episode 198 of the Soul Forge podcast.
Welcome to the Soul Forge, a place of silent mystery, quiet contemplation, and outright mayhem. Join your host, Sean Vanderloo, as he guides you through the adventures of living. Together, we'll talk about life and love, sex and dating, joy and heartache, memories and loss, and so much more. Don't worry, it's not nearly as pretentious as it sounds. Get ready for life, the universe, and everything on the Soul Forge.
Hey gang, it's Sean back at you with another episode, and this week we have a returning guest. It's Brother Curtis, and we're here to talk about some excitement and adventure. Isn't that right, brother?
That is absolutely right. Hello, Soul Forge fans, and welcome back to another great episode.
How do you know it's great if we haven't recorded it yet?
Because I'm sure if you and I are doing it, it is going to be great. Probably the most listened to in at least 2 weeks.
At least, because if there's one thing that we're known for, it's our conversational gold.
Absolutely. Gold, silver, platinum.
All the colors, all the metals,
rainbows.
all the stuff.
You got it.
That's right. That's us.
Yeah.
Okay, so for some background context, you were on last week's episode talking with your wife about marriage success. So listeners, if you haven't heard that episode, you owe it to yourself to go check out episode 197. It is exciting. And
so exciting.
And that's not your podcast debut, but I believe it might be your wife's.
I think you are correct about that.
Right. Okay. Well, I was hoping to do a podcast episode with Brother Robin, but he didn't join us for this week's topic, which is my first attempt at yoga.
Yes. Sean's introduction to yoga.
And so I came over for supper, and you said,
"Brother, come upstairs."
And I'm like,
"Follow me."
I'm like, oh, this doesn't sound good. And you're like, "No, it's not good, but come anyway." I'm like, "All right, fine, I will." I don't think that was the exact words, but
Not exactly.
Close
You
enough.
were worried. You just didn't want me to kill you, and I said I wouldn't.
that's right.
And you said, "Is it scary?" And I said, "It shouldn't be too scary."
And then I came upstairs, and you said, "Take off your pants."
Yes, I stripped you down
Yeah.
and gave you different clothing so that you could more properly yoga
Right.
with some comfort.
Yes, because my t-shirt and my jeans would not be appropriate to yoga.
Not unless they're very stretchy jeans.
And they're not.
And they're not.
No.
So it's important to do yoga in a state of comfort.
That does sound correct. You gave me a green Under Armour shirt and some black stretchy shorts.
Yes, I did.
You said, "Take off your socks, grab this mat, and we're going to go into the other room."
Yes, they were Under Armour shorts, and they were black with red stripes down the side.
Just to give our listeners a complete picture of the scenario.
Absolutely.
That's
yes.
important. So
And I was wearing a red Nike shirt.
you were.
And some, I don't know, unnamed brand shorts as well.
That's right.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, the mats were blue.
The mats were blue
Yes, they were.
and squishy.
Very squishy. I think yours were probably more comfortable than mine, but
Pretty well the same because I doubled up yours.
that is true.
So,
Yes, you did. So we went into your bonus room, your spare room, your rec room, whatever you call it,
yeah, the room above the garage,
which is cold.
which is cold but gives plenty of space to maneuver around and continue to keep 6 feet of social isolation
Of course, as necessary.
as necessary.
That's right. So we went into the room, you turned your phone on, and you said, "Okay, we're going to look for what exactly?"
Yeah, so what I utilize, and just to give a little bit of background here, I guess I should say that I only introduced myself to yoga at the beginning of January of 2021. So I have not been doing yoga a long time. I wouldn't necessarily call myself a yogi yet.
I gotta admit, you don't quit, Yogi.
Let's blast off, boo-boo.
but I definitely enjoy it and have been trying to pick it up. And so I have done various different yogas, energetic, slow flow, things like that, and varying time lengths from 10 minutes to 45 minutes. And I found one that kind of introduced some of the basic concepts. It was 30 minutes, and it was performed by Jessica of the Apple Fitness Plus from Apple. And that is the one I chose. It was a slow flow, give you a chance to learn some of the moves and practice.
And I thought, okay, sounds good. Her diction was very good. She was clear. The phone was far away and small, so I couldn't really see what she was doing, but I followed your movements.
Yes.
I did suggest maybe get a tablet or put it on a TV so we could see it better, but...
Yeah, and our plan is to purchase another TV and put it into the room that we were exercising in so that we can project our phones onto that.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So that is a future plan because we think we're now going to make that into a workout space.
That's probably an ideal use for that room.
Yeah, we think so. So it was hard to see, but she did explain the various poses well, and like you said, you followed me.
I didn't know exactly what I was doing, and I didn't understand all her terminology.
No, as you wouldn't. There is a lot of terminology in yoga, things that I still don't understand, moves that I haven't tried yet, and just poses that are named with words that you don't generally use in your everyday life.
That's true.
In your vocabulary. So Warrior 1, Warrior 2, Ninja, Lizard, Lazy Lizard, Active Lizard.
I think everybody knows about the downward dog.
The downward dog, yes. The upward dog, the cobra, the high cobra, the low cobra. The crow. We haven't tried the crow.
No, I didn't hear that one mentioned at all.
No, and the crow is a very advanced move that I don't particularly enjoy. It hurts my arms. Maybe I'm doing it incorrectly. I don't know. But basically, you stand on your hands, have your knees up on your elbows, and lean forward with your feet off the ground, and basically balance yourself.
Ouch.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good. And maybe I'm just a higher weight than a typical yoga person might do that move. But the modification of the crow is the hen, and I actually like the hen. It gives a good stretch. Yeah. So you got introduced to Warrior 1.
I did. And we'll talk about that right after a word from another podcast right here on the ESO Network.
Check out what's been going on with the Pop Culture Cosmos Show and the PCC Multiverse.
People are just losing their minds trying to consume Marvel products right now, and I don't blame them. This is some of the best entertainment you can get on TV and big screen right now.
If something's going to be successful or not, they look at the mentions, they look at the likes, they look at the retweets and the tweets and the subtweets and the tweets, and they look at all of that to say, okay, this is actually going to garner a lot of attention.
Catch our shows on Worldwide Radio 7 days a week and right here on the ESO Network.
And wasn't that a great promo, Curtis?
That was the best promo I've heard in a while, actually.
Are you going to go check out that podcast?
I am going to check out that podcast, and so should you.
Exactly. So Warrior 1 we were talking about.
Yes, we were talking about Warrior 1. You got introduced to Warrior 1.
Which one was that again?
That is the one where your back foot is at a 45-degree angle, and you are in a bit of a runner's lunge.
That's right. Yes.
Yes, with your front knee over your ankle.
Correct. Yes, that sounds right.
Yeah, and you try to rotate your hips to the front, basically like you're on a train track, parallel with the train track, looking forward, and then you raise your arms above your head.
And none of these maneuvers are normal for everyday life, so it's a bit awkward. It's the balancing part of it was the most difficult, because when you put your arms up, well, then you're going to teeter.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you fell out of a couple of the moves a couple of the times. I had trouble with one of them as well. As I've been taking different yoga classes from different trainers, they often say the wobbles keep you there. The wobbles are natural, and embrace the wobbles because that's your muscles learning new memory.
That makes sense. Mm-hmm. Okay. And for our listeners, how would you describe my first experience trying yoga? Did I do okay? Did I mess up too much?
I don't think you can mess up doing yoga.
Really?
I think giving any yoga attempt is a win. So I think you did a perfectly fine job. You listened to your body. you didn't overstretch and overexert yourself where inappropriate.
Right.
And you tried to follow along as best you could. A couple of the downward dogs, you had to take a break. And that's okay. You go at your own pace.
That's what she said on the video.
That is exactly what she said on the video. And you need to listen.
Yes, definitely. Always listen to your body.
Always
It knows
listen.
what it needs.
Exactly. So besides me describing your first yoga experience, you describe to us your first yoga experience.
Okay. Well, I was a little bit hesitant, but
What brought about this hesitancy?
I've never done it before. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if it would hurt. I didn't know if it was going to be extra complicated, and I couldn't do it. But, like I've said on repeated occasions, I will try anything at least once, except for liver and onions.
and that's reasonable. Liver and onions are pretty gross. So, was it overly complicated?
I wouldn't say it was overly complicated. I didn't know exactly everything that was going on, but if I just looked over and watched you do it, I kind of got the gist of how it went.
If you did it, if you did the same program and you could actually see it on TV,
Yes, because I didn't have my glasses on, and the little phone was a little bit far away, so I could hear fine, but I couldn't see very well.
yeah. And so, do you think if you repeated the same yoga experience one or two more times, would you get more comfortable?
Oh, probably, because you always get more comfortable the more you do something.
And did it hurt?
Surprisingly, no. There were a few points where I was stretching where I could definitely feel the muscle tension, but I didn't hurt myself. I didn't work up that much of a sweat. There was a little bit, not as much as you, I don't think.
Yeah.
But
No, your body warms up. They call it warming the body, and when you start to feel that sweat kind of coming on, because as you progress in your yoga class, your muscles start to stretch more. That's often why they get you to repeat the moves.
because there was a lot of repetition in that video.
Yes, absolutely.
Because when you first said we were going to do a thing, you said, I'll find you a nice easy one for about 20 minutes. But then you found the half an hour one.
I did.
Luckily, the last 5 or 6 minutes was just us laying on the ground, breathing, and wiggling our toes and fingers.
Yes.
So that wasn't bad. That was okay. That was probably my favorite part of it.
Yeah, a bit of self-meditation. Focus on your breathing, focus on your thoughts, try to clear your thoughts away, and just reset after your body movement. Putting your body in different positions. Me as a runner, I have found, now that I've been adding yoga to my workout routines, that it allows me to stretch better for running. It allows me to run farther and faster and easier. And I'm more in tune with my body overall. And so I really enjoy it for that aspect.
Have you taken up any kind of meditation to go along with this?
Not specifically, no. I find that with the yoga classes, there's usually setting an intention at the very beginning.
Yes, she did say that.
And then at the end, coming back to your intention, and they usually give you a couple minutes to do some self-reflection and kind of go internally there, and that's kind of where I do that. I would say any meditation, I would say I do kind of when I'm running or walking outside. Okay. Already, I really
Makes
reflect
sense.
on things then, because that's time for me.
Mm-hmm. And setting the intention for the workout or the yoga session is basically your goal for the moment.
It can be the goal for the moment. There was one day where I set my intention as sending positive energy to somebody else, which is what I wanted to do. I wanted my light to reflect on them because I knew they were going through a bit of a tough time.
How'd that work out?
I didn't actually ask them. I just sent my energy out into the universe, and hopefully it accepted them.
I think it probably did.
Probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's a whole other podcast episode, light and all that stuff.
Exactly.
I've never touched on that, but yeah, I've been learning about that for years. So
yeah,
maybe that'll be a topic one day.
Yeah, so I find that yoga introduces you to all sorts of new concepts and new ways of thinking, and all the trainers that I listen to are all very positive and motivating and really want the best for themselves and for you as a participant. And I kind of like that mindset, and I've been trying to take that mindset and move it to other people, even in my emails, starting my emails with hope you're having a good day today, which normally I would just get right into the content of the email, but no, I've added Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing safe. Hope this day is finding you well.
Have you found any changes to how people respond?
Absolutely. People respond back with other positive comments or just a different tone in their emails. So
Wow.
yeah, it's been pretty interesting experiment.
So overall, yoga has been a positive experience for you.
Absolutely.
And do you have any advice for somebody who might hesitate to take it up?
Yeah.
How do you find the motivation to actually do it? Because that's my problem. I have no motivation of any kind to do anything except a podcast.
You find the motivation internally. Do you want better for yourself?
Yes.
Ask yourself that question. Do I want better for me?
And
if
if you
the
do-
answer is yes, then go ahead and do it.
Force yourself.
Force yourself. Absolutely. No one's going to do it for you,
That is true.
right? Mm-hmm. And you get out what you put in, nothing more, nothing less.
Makes sense to me.
Absolutely. And so my advice to somebody that wants to start is find a beginner yoga program on YouTube. There's often 10-minute yoga beginner programs.
So how come you didn't find that for me?
Well, I wanted you to have a more wholesome and complete experience.
Well, I can tell you, every time we get together, you're always introducing me to something new and unexpected.
And how do you feel about that?
Well,
Because I introduce myself to new and unexpected things just to explore the world.
right. And I'm all about trying new things. I'm not always the most brave when it comes to that. Do I put up much of a fight when you ask me to try something new?
Rarely.
Okay.
Rarely do you put up a fight, but I find that you won't push yourself to just do it.
That sounds about right.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. You have not embraced Nike.
I have not. I definitely haven't. That's true. There are times for certain things that I will, but when it comes to physical activity, that's not my favorite.
Yeah. And I find that the more physical activity I do, the easier it becomes. And actually my body starts to crave it.
Ah,
So not only does my body start to crave that more physical activity, my body craves better food. It wants healthier food.
That makes sense.
And it's just kind of an upward cycle instead of a downward spiral. I would call it an upward cycle of just continuous benefits adding on one another.
so like a cascade effect.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
A cascade effect of positivity and goodness.
Yes,
Right on.
100%.
Okay.
And I guess if you're ever really looking for that motivation, now I didn't use this for yoga, but when I first started running, and that was only in 2018, I didn't know where to start. I asked a friend that was a guru, I guess you would call him. He ran a Couch to 5K program. I asked him if I wanted to start running, where would I begin? And he said, meet me 9 a.m. on Sunday and we'll go. And I was like, whoa, I'm not sure I'm ready for that.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, nope, just come. And so I just came. And I ran, and it was horrible, and it was hard, and it hurt. And then he said, okay, now on Tuesday, run again. And I was like, are you kidding me? Because my muscles hurt, my legs hurt.
No
and I
doubt.
was like, fine, okay. So I ran again. And I was like, well, that wasn't so bad. And then he's like, okay, now Thursday, and then Sunday again. And I was like, and I did it, and he met me on the second Sunday, and I had already progressed a little bit. It was a little bit easier. And then he told me to sign up for a 5K race.
Ooh,
Pay for it, sign up for it, and then you will have motivation to keep you going.
makes sense.
And I will tell you, that was what I needed. Because in 2018, I signed up for the 5K. 6 weeks later, I actually changed it to a 10K.
Oh, wow.
Ran the 10K. And in October, ran a half marathon.
Jeez.
The following year, signed up for the same 10K race, did it 6 minutes faster
Nice.
than the first year, signed up for another marathon, did it 9 minutes fast, half marathon, sorry, 9 minutes faster than my first half marathon. And then in 2020, when the lockdowns happened, I basically didn't run
Yes, that's right.
because I didn't have a race to train for. So I lacked the motivation.
So you need competition.
I prefer competition. Yeah, whether it's with somebody else or with myself even.
Makes sense. And that's
Yeah.
why you have this fancy Apple Watch where
That's
you've
why
signed up with people who are also working out or running or doing the things,
Yes.
and you have to win. You have to beat them.
I have to give a good effort. Sometimes I lose, and I'm okay with that if I know I've put in a really good effort, but I prefer to win. Absolutely.
Of course.
Absolutely. And at work, I just recently introduced the April Health Challenge and got 30 other participants.
Wow.
And we're all on teams, and we're competing against the other teams. Steps, workouts, eating better, drinking more water. And you get points for so many things, and yeah, people seem pretty excited about it.
And that's fantastic.
And that is fantastic.
And you feel healthy?
And I feel healthy and more satisfied, and the mental health benefits of being more active are just phenomenal.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, are you on any kind of social media so that if somebody wanted a piece of advice from you, they could reach out to you? Like, are you on Twitter where they could contact you, or you don't have any of that stuff?
I have Twitter. I have Facebook, and there's another one there.
Instagram?
Instagram, yeah, that's kind of part of Facebook, right?
Kind of. I think they own each other.
Yeah, I think I'm on that one too. Yeah, but I'm on Twitter. And
what's your Twitter handle if you want to give it out? Like, you don't have to.
I think it is Ice Cold Stare 13. It was my guess.
Well, let's find out.
Yeah, I'm not.
You probably don't go on there too much. I know I don't.
I don't go on a ton.
Everyone these days could use a little support, and your friends at the ESO Network are no different. With the ESO Network Patreon, the cool thing is when you help support us, it's you who will benefit. With 4 tiers starting for as little as 25 cents a week, you can listen to some of your favorite network podcasts early, hear exclusive content, maybe get some ESO swag, or even possibly take a shot at the geek seat. All you need to do is sign up at patreon.com/ESO Network.
Ice Cold Stare 13.
Okay, at Ice Cold Stare 13.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay,
Yes.
so that's probably the best place to reach you.
Probably one of the best places to reach me.
Okay.
Although maybe Facebook.
Right. All right. Fantastic.
Yes. LinkedIn if you have it.
Oh, yes.
You can find me by name, Curtis Vanderler.
Okay, perfect. All right, so any other parting words of wisdom before we let these people go on to the next podcast that they're going to listen to?
If it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you.
Excellent. Thanks for your service and your time.
Thank you for indulging me in this conversation.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Soul Forge podcast. Your support is greatly appreciated, and we hope you'll tune in again next time. Remember that you can visit soulforgepodcast.com for all of our social media links, and don't forget to share the show with everyone you know. The Soul Forge podcast is your best source for living your best life.
Think about it.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping at the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.